Hi, this is Joseph. In this video, I'd like to discuss the possibilities and the performance statement that you see on the performance page. So what you're looking at is a screenshot. Right now, this is a live version of the desktop, but what you see on the performance page is actually a screenshot of the dashboard from the Trade Copier program, the best Forex trade copier. This is actually a subscriber's performance statement. And I want you to draw your attention over here to the growth that this particular subscriber has actually experienced. So we're going to keep their identity, to themselves. That's their privacy. And I want you to see how this particular account has grown 320% while using my Trade Copier service. You can see the balance, you can see the profit and loss. Now, I want to say something, and this is very, very important that you keep this in mind, because this is one of the questions. I'm going to address one of the questions that I get quite a bit, which is, what is the typical, performance? What's the growth that I could experience from using your service? And what I want to say is very important. And I know that you know this already, but you need to be very careful when it comes to the leverage you decide to use. I don't recommend using extreme high leverage. I don't recommend that at all. Now, I'm going to say that my subscribers, after they use my service for a while, many of them after just a couple of weeks, some of them will take maybe a month or so, they come to trust me. They know that if I experience a loss, I'm going to earn that loss back quickly. And if I experience a loss, it's usually a very small loss. And my winning trades, so I don't mess around when it comes to trading. I'm there managing these positions. I'm a professional full-time trader that is watching these trades. It's not an automated black box system that just fires off trades by itself. So I'll give you an example today of a trade that I took with the news. It wasn't as a result of the news, but I'll talk about that in just a moment. But I want, so that way you can get an understanding of how I trade the news, and you can see what that can do for you, right? You can see what this could potentially do for you if you decide to use my Trade Copier service. This individual, this subscriber, I love all of my subscribers. I'm grateful that they trust me and they're letting me do this for them. They're letting me trade for them. But I don't always agree with the leverage that many of them are using. They're using leverage that's extremely high. And I caution that there could be a time when we could get hit. For example, a lot of my trades, if I lose on a trade, it's going to be maybe 15, 16 pips, maybe on the high side, about 30 pips loss. But I can earn that loss back on the very next trade. I just need to wait for the setup. And it's not, you're not going to sit negative. It's not going to, the account's not going to continue to go lower and lower and lower and then go below where you started. That's not going to happen. That's not the way I trade. I'm very, very patient, and I'm very particular about the trading opportunities that I get into. And I know that every trade I execute is going to affect my subscribers. I know how it's going to affect them. Again, this is what is possible, but I don't necessarily recommend that you do the same thing. Be very careful. Use the leverage that you're comfortable using. But my subscribers increase the leverage and they increase the lot size because they trust me. Sometimes to a level that I'm not even comfortable looking at, to be honest. But I'm not going to, I know that in the back of my mind, every time I execute a trade, I'm not going to do anything out of the ordinary, right? I'm going to follow my trade plan. I'm a professional. I've been doing this since 2001. I know to not completely blow up an account and go out of control and start trading like a wild man with my hair on fire. I'm not going to do anything like that. It doesn't happen. I know, and I say that because a lot of other services do that, right? You look at their performance and it looks great, and then you join them, and then you see nothing but losses, and then by the end of the month, you've lost half of the money that you had in your account. So this is one possibility. This is a subscriber who's doing extremely well using the Trade Copier. Now, I want to show you another example. This is another subscriber's account, and I want to show you one particular trade that I executed this morning with the news, and you can see the profit that this subscriber has earned. And they were able to earn $2,847.78 on just this one trade alone. So you can see the power and the potential of using a trading account that has substantial capital, right? It takes money to make money. But as you can see in the previous example, if you've got a limited account, you certainly don't need to come in with $100,000 or $50,000. You can use the Trade Copier service with whatever size account you have. But please just be very careful and be very selective and understand leverage before you start using my Trade Copier service. I want you to know what it is that you're doing when you are using, you're putting on more and more lots as time goes on. Make sure that you're comfortable with the service. Make sure that you're comfortable with the leverage that you're using. It's within your money management principles, your ideas, and your plan. So let me show you the trade that we executed to make that $2,800 profit for that one subscriber. Of course, all of my subscribers got it, but that's the results in one subscriber's account. So this was what I call a trade. You've probably heard about it before. It's not something new. It's a fade the double zero. So it's an opportunity to trade when price starts to reverse right at or around the double zero psychological level. Now, prior to the news at 8:30 New York time, I could see that it was forming a low, it was forming a bottom here, and it was also bouncing off of this support level. This is the euro dollar, by the way. This is the 1 hour time frame. It was also bouncing off of this support level from last week. So it looked pretty obvious. You can see here what's going on with the indicators. This is also a Tech 1 trade. I teach that strategy. It's actually a technique that I developed. It's a reversal pattern. I trade the Tech 1 either at significant support or resistance, or if price is trending, I trade the Tech 1, on a breakout and then a pullback. This is a Tech 1 trade opportunity there. So it moves up, then pulls back to a key support level, and then bounces, and then the trend resumes. So there's two ways to trade that Tech 1 trade. So I could see all of that happening before the 8:30 New York economic data was released. So all I had to do at that point, once I had confirmation, technically, it was just wait for the news. So waiting for the news, you could see that the news was dollar negative across the board. That was also an additional form of confirmation, and I was able to get into the trade. And that, there was really, for the most part, no way that it was going to turn around at that point. So we were able to trade this to its expected take profit level, which is the 1.1640 area right in there. And then that was, it was that easy. I mean, you can see just how quick and how fast some of these trades are. Some of these trades are going to take a little bit longer than this. I want to prepare you for that so that you know that I can't obviously control the amount of time that it takes for some of these trades to reach their targets, of course, but I can pay attention to the timing when I get into the trade. So very often you'll see a lot of these trades executed right around the New York session or during the New York session, sometimes during the London. It really depends. The better opportunities, sometimes it goes in cycles. But there's a lot more participation and usually a lot more volume during the New York trading session. So those are good opportunities because if it's backed with news and a technical signal, then it's usually going to move pretty smoothly to its take profit target within an hour or 30 minutes or an hour and a half or even 2 minutes. But I'm sorry, 2 hours or 3 hours. But sometimes there are those times when it just kind of goes flat sideways. I've got to manage the trade. And again, I don't turn my back on these trades. I don't walk away from these trades. It doesn't matter how long it takes for the trade to hit its target. I'm going to be there managing that position because it is my money, your money. I know you're counting on me. I know all of my subscribers are counting on me, just like I showed you in those previous two examples there. These are subscribers. Like I said, I love all of my subscribers, and I'm grateful that they trust me, and I know they're counting on me. So it's very important that I do what I'm supposed to do every day, 5 days a week, making sure that I manage these positions from the time I get into the trade until it hits its expected take profit level.